Okay, welcome back. What we need to do now is step back from the detail, or rather step back from the whistle-stop tour of the analyzer and look and see how research feels. This data set, as you realize, is 2 academic papers. It could be interview text, it could be other things. What I'm going to do is add a 3rd article, and to add any source material we go to the 2nd tab. And the Load and Chunk Up Sources button, that's where we have to go. And you see the familiar material from the this is the Chernowich and Brown paper and the Vincotrawan and Henderson paper. So here's a blank space. I've just gone to the end of the file, created a blank space, and what we need to do, let's make a bit of space so you can see what's going on. What we need to do is pour our text into the space here. However, I'm going to show you a trick. We could copy, we could paste, but I'm going to show you a trick. I use Zotero for my bibliography management. And here's my browser running with my home page, and I'm going to click on the Zotero button and bring up my bibliography, which is here. And this is the paper I want to add. It's a very, very important paper from 2011 by Myers and Klein. Michael Myers is at Auckland, and Heinz Klein tragically died. And what I've done is to let's just look at this paper quickly. It's from MIS Quarterly, one of the leading journals. It's a set of principles for conducting critical research in information systems. I could talk for a long time about that. Let's not do that. What I have done, just for the sake of the exercise, is I've marked up some sections in the highlighter because I'm interested. They're like the conclusions, and I found one reference that I really want to follow through and pick up later on. So that's a quick look at the paper. Let's put my PDF reader away. Zotero is cool, and it's a community thing, of course. And one of the extensions to Zotero is Zotfile, Z-O-T-F-I-L-E, or Z-O-T-F-I-L-E. And that gives you this facility called Manage Attachments. And one of the options is to extract your annotations. They're done. I've used that facility just a moment ago to create the copy of what we were just highlighting in yellow in the Zotero reference files. But I can right click on the entry there and say I want to export this item, export the selected item. Now I could select hundreds, but I'm just going to do one for you now. I choose the RIS data interchange format, and I'm exporting the notes. These are the notes over here, and I click OK. And what it's done is put the RIS file in my temporary directory, so that going back into the analyzer I can pick up with the load facility. I've got a button that allows you to load RIS, in a sense metadata, directly. There's the saved RIS file. Double click, and the analyzer's pulled in the author names, it's pulled in the articles, and you may see at the bottom we've got 3 files now, not 2, we've got 3, and the 3rd one is a set of principles, blah blah blah. There's Klein, the credit goes to Klein this time. I'm going to mark myself as the reader, and I could fill in other stuff if I wanted to. You can, if you want to, make a path to the item in question. Now, actually, it's buried in the Zotero file structure, so I'm not going to do that. Let's just skip that for the moment. But if you know where your papers are, you can browse through, click, and then the hot link will come up in there. It could be a web address, of course. Just allows you in the analyzer to immediately go back and see the real source material. One of the things you'll see quite often is that the PDF material comes through and it's got line feeds and stuff, so there's a button here to remove all the line feeds. It's been done here already. But if I were to put some blank lines in here, can I do that? Yeah. Then as soon as I do remove the line feeds, it's cleaning things up for me. And I can do spell checking. Well, look at all these little things not in the dictionary. I don't want to go there. That just invokes the standard Office Suite spell checker. Okay, we've loaded it in. What we need to do now is do some chunking. I seem to have gone back. Here we are. We're back on the Myers and Klein paper. What you can do is, the easy thing is just to select with your mouse, copy, I'm using Control C, paste, I'm using Control V, And then you can either leave it here, or you can, I tend to delete stuff as I've copied it, because who needs to, you know, you get lost, that's what I'm saying, you get lost on the way through. But if you check these two markers up here, it enables what I call auto chunk and the delete facility. So this allows us to do something very quickly. I'm going to go for another chunk. If I just select now with my left button of my mouse, as soon as I let go, it deletes the text and marks it over on the other side. And let's go for one more new one. So the reference, I'll take the whole of the reference now, and that's gone in as the third. Look, I can mark these chunks as being like a reference. I can say that's an actual quotation from the paper. I can say this is a quotation from the paper. I can make a new one and say this is my thoughts. And I can make that just text or regard it as a comment, and so on. So now we're getting a grip on things, and we're ready to start doing some coding. Just to remind ourselves, I hope this goes through okay. We're on the third case, Myers and Klein. If I click here, it should go through, and bingo, it's brought up the new paper for coding. Now you saw this before, but let's just do some coding and see what happens. Okay, their conclusions. First, it has defined what is unique about the critical research philosophy. Okay, critical research is a particular approach to doing your research, as you probably know. And I'm going to say, not business, I'm going to say this is, whoops, sorry folks, I'm going to say this is research method, and it's going to tell me again that it's not in the list. So as soon as you enter a category that's not in the list, you can add it in. Okay, there we go, research method is now in the list. Let's pick another one, a theoretical framework for critical proposed specific aims. So let's just pick that up. And have we got something there that would do, we call it education, it's research, so, and so on. Encourage more researchers. Researching is a role. Have we got role in here? Let's have role, shall we? And that's added to the list. So it goes on, and we're building up a list of categories which gets longer and longer the more we go on. And there you have it, really. If we reckon we have finished, we don't have words in the concordance yet. That's one thing we can do now. We can send these words to the concordance. It turns out there are 31. We might not want to send those words in the third chunk because they're just a reference. But we can also always just batter on and go back to the data management and rebuild the concordance for all of our material. Clean sweep right across the board. Then when we're browsing and looking for our words, we can probably aims, that was, yeah, okay, there you are. Aims was one of the words, do you remember? We looked at just a moment ago. It was in that chunk. It turns out it's from a set of principles, and there's our article. We can browse around. We can confuse ourselves going up, down, left, right, in and out. So you've seen a little bit then about how research is done. I showed you before how you can export selected chunks as text to the clipboard, and you can do the pairs analysis. I think that little exercise, just entering some data of a third article, helps you to see what you will have to do when you choose to buckle down and get your own data into place. I think the one thing that will really bug you is that the need to organize the categories properly is critical. Personally, I can say I always wanted to have this tree view a little bit more powerful, so I can pick up role, for example, and just drop it and have it allocated to something higher up. But the Visual Basic facilities for dealing with these tree views are not very strong, I've decided. Perhaps I'm just too old. And if you want to start structuring these things, then you'll have to go into the tree view out of the tree view and start building your structure from a fresh start. Can we do that? Can we do that? Yeah, there we go. So there we can start to say now that society includes the stuff that we haven't got in there at the moment, which would be, for example, what have we just added in there? Role. You have a role in society, etc. And now when we go to the tree view, we find that society now includes role. You see what's going on? And you have to poke around a bit. It's not as elegant as it might be, but it gets the job done. And at the end of the day, we get our charts. And look, we got our third item in there. It comes out green. Isn't that pretty? Okay, guys. Good luck with it. That's all for now. I may come back and do another quick talk on the even more abstract thoughts I have on qualitative research. As I said at some point before, I don't do statistics, and I much prefer to work with the words. Good luck, guys. That's it for now.